Hello, my name is Dan, and today I want to show you how to build a random code generator in C++. So this will basically generate a code out of digits, uppercase and lowercase letters, pretty much. Let me move this a little bit. Okay. Uh, what you're gonna need is basically just a C++ compiler and a text editor, but if you're watching this, I'm assuming you already have those. So let me call this random, but no, never mind. Uh, random.cpp. There we go. I'm gonna edit with Notepad++. I don't wanna bother with starting up my IDE now, but I made the text quite big for you to understand. Wait a second. Okay, return 0. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a function which is going to translate integers into characters, but not in the traditional way, just casting. Like I could just see out a character, like the 48th character, and it's gonna be 0. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna actually arrange those. So build random run. It's a 0, yeah. I'm actually going to arrange everything. So, for example, from 0 to 9, I actually have characters 0 to 9. Then from 10 to 35, I have characters like A to Z, lowercase, and so on. Um, I'm just gonna custom made the builder here, whatever I made it. I can link it to you if you'd like, but it uses the TDM GCC compiler. Anyway, first I'm gonna need an ASCII table here. ASCII code. This is the best website now because it's kind of organized. And here you can see from 48 to. Sorry about that. Shit. Okay, so here you can see that from 48 to 57 you have characters 0 to 9, and from 65 to 90 there we go, A to Z uppercase. Then from 97 to from 97 to 122, like that, you have lowercase characters. So let me just get this out, and I'm gonna try to let me okay. I'm gonna try to actually put this on in this notepad window right here. So basically I want indexes 0 to 9 to have characters 0 to 9. I want from 10 to 35 to have uppercase letters, and 36 to how many letters are in the alphabet, plus 36, which is 25 plus 36, which is 61. I want lowercase letters. Okay. Now I'm just going to try to translate this. I know that now in the ASCII table, 0 is 48, 9 is 57, capital A is, no, what was it? was 65. Now capital Z was 90. Lowercase a was 97, and lowercase z was 122. Okay, so I'm going to create a function right now, so I'm going to call it ch. I'm going to take integer x, and I'm going to start now. So if x is smaller than 10, that means it's from 0, it ranges from 0 to 9. Therefore, I'm going to return character, and I'm going to need to relate x to 48 and 57 somehow. Basically, I can think of it like this: if x is 0, basically I'm gonna need the character to be 0, which has the index 48. So I just have to add here 48, and what is gonna return is basically the character 0 or this. But whatever. Also, if I type 9, the ASCII table is pretty well arranged, so pretty much the same thing works. 9 plus 48 is 57, so I'm gonna get the character 9 in return. Now, if x is smaller than 36, that means it ranges from 10 to 35, and if it were if it actually was smaller than 10, something would have been returned here, so the code wouldn't have gotten this far. So I'm going to return character. And now, let's see. If x is 10, let's say if x is 10, I gotta return a, which is 65. So in order to get from 10 to 65, I gotta add 55. That's cool. Also, this works the same for z. So if I actually want to get a 25th character, I would basically have to input 35. 35 plus 55 is 90, so I would get z, and that's perfect. Now again, if x smaller than 62, then I'm gonna have to return character of index. Well, let's say I want to get lowercase a, then I just put 36, and from 36 I have to get to 97. That's cool. If I will just have to add 61 to that 36, and I'll get to 97. So I'm gonna test that. So I'm gonna make a loop right here for integer x equals 0, x smaller than 62, x plus plus. I'm gonna cout ch of x, and I'm gonna end the line as well. Now let me clear the screen, build random, and run it. And basically I have all the characters here, 0 to 9, a to z, lowercase a to lowercase z, and that's all good. Now the actual random generator, what I need for it is random numbers. I will have to generate random numbers from 0 to 61. Yep, 0 to 61. So I can get random characters, and for that I will need, as I said, a random number generator. Most compilers come with CSTD library and their included libraries. This file actually has, this library actually has a function called rand in it, and basically what it does, it generates a random number. Well, it's not really that random because you can't just tell a computer to create something that random. So let me build random, run it as well, and nothing in the output. What is that? What is that? Cout random. That's because I forgot to save. Okay, so okay, build a random and run, and I have a 41. I'm gonna run it again, and again, and again, and as you can see, I get 41 each time. That's because I need a seed for in order to get a truly random number. Well, it's never a truly random number, but I basically need to input something here in the seed. So I use the function srand in order to set a seed. So here I'm going to have the seed. You can actually see that Notepad++ tells me that it needs an unsigned integer seed. So the problem here is that I have to find something that changes every single time, and when it changes, this function will change as well. So what changes frequently, and I can input it in the srand, so every time I input it, it's gonna be different, and that is, well, time, seconds. So I'm gonna include time.age here, and just so you can see, I will actually see out here time, and no, here you can see I also have this auto completion done by Notepad++. I saved it. Okay, now I can run it, and I have random, 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 random. I can type. Anyway, these are seconds, you can see. So these are just seconds. They change, but the thing is that this will change as well. So build random run. Oops, you're not gonna see any difference. Build random run. So I still get a 49, but let me see, random. So, oh, sorry, I actually didn't quite set the seed. Let me set the seed to this number that changes every single second, which is provided by this function time, which takes a timer argument. Anyway, I'm gonna run this, and as you can see, I get a pretty random number, even though it changes just by 3 for some reason. Anyway, usually what I do is I do srand again, and I take rand, and I do at least 2 times. So I know it feels more random to me, but whatever. So now let me build random and run. Okay, random, and it kind of seems different a little bit, kinda, but whatever. Seems okay to me. The thing is that it will look very different once I do this. I do modulo, which returns me the remainder when I divide by the number here. So for example, if rand is 63, it's gonna give me the remainder which I get when I divide 63 by 62. So this will look very different now. So if I build it and run it, as you can see, random, still doesn't quite, because I forgot to save it, that's why. Okay, build random, and random. kinda, it looks kinda very different, doesn't it? And that's good, because we need numbers that vary a lot, so we don't have a bunch of the same characters, like uppercase characters followed by other uppercase characters. Of course, this is going to happen, but I don't want it to happen consistently. So now that I have a random... Okay, now that I have a random number, which is this right here, I know how to get it, and that's good. Let me remember it. This is the seed setup. I don't want to delete this. I just wanted to see the actual number. Actually, I want to delete this. This seed, I made it so the number is very unrelated to anything, pretty much. That's what random means, right? So let me now try to create some random codes. First, I'm gonna create, I know, 1 character codes. I make 100 of those. So for integer x equals 0, x smaller than 100, x plus plus, I'm gonna do cout ch of x and end the line. Let me build random and now run random, and something is bad here. Okay. Yeah, I know what's bad. uh, Here, I'm gonna return null, I guess. Because I input something that's much larger than... I input something that's much larger than the limit, so if something is larger than 62, then it's gonna give you something random, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna build random again. Okay, return null. I can't return null. I'm retarded. That's why. I'm just gonna return question mark, I guess. So build random, and now let me run random. Yep, I got a bunch of question marks up to this point. A, B, C, D, F, G, blah, 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 blah. Yep. Okay. This is actually good. It means it's working. Now I can actually make a bunch of these codes, but I didn't do anything here. I actually did the same thing I did in testing. So I'm gonna get... I said I want to get 100 of these codes, but they are random characters. So I'm gonna use the random number that I managed to come up with before. So now I'm gonna get random characters. I typed that ch of x by inertia. I'm used to typing that, so I actually forgot what I had to type. Now I'm gonna get 100 of random characters. So let me build that and run it as well. And 100 of random characters which are unrelated to each other. Kind of a lot uppercase letters though, but I think it just seems like it. Okay. Now let me actually get 100 of these, but I want them to be like 5 characters long. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another loop, and I or y equals 0, y smaller than 5, y plus plus. And now I'm going to do cout. I'm going to do ch of rand modulo 62. And that's it. And here I'm going to cout end line. So for this loop I have a single instruction, and in this loop I have 2 instructions. That's why I use the brackets here. I'm gonna build it and run. Build random run. Okay. And as you can see, they're pretty random. That's good. And if I run it again, you can just look at the last code and you'll see that it's not the same. so all of these are completely random, and this was made using a simple algorithm. Pretty much the juice of all this is this function, which is a little bit more complicated to make, not because it's, I don't know, you have to think much, but you have to organize everything, and that's kind of an annoyance to me. I think for it is for most people. But if you use a piece of paper or notepad like I just did, it's pretty easy to go by. Of course, I made this. This is not the first time I'm making it, so it was easier there as well. But if you're using a piece of paper for this kind of stuff, it will go much easier than if you actually have to think about it. But if you're lazy like me, you're just not going to care anymore. You're not going to care about what I'm telling you. So um, I will not. I will not use it because I know myself. But this is pretty much the whole thing. It's not hard to make. It's not. It's nothing difficult. So even though if you had problems, if you have any questions, then feel free to ask me in the comments. And thank you very much for watching.